My name is Ron Valk. I represent CGI. CGI is one of the largest IT service providers and business consultancy firms in the world. With 84,000 people, we are working in almost all industries around the globe. And in Europe, we're working with 1,000 people on the space domain. We work on satellite navigation, so the upstream satellite communication, and also data control, so the remote sensor control, and we also provide sorry, that's Miss Mouse. Sorry for that. And we also work on the downstream applications. And today I would like to focus on two of our downstream solutions. And if you, by the way, if you want to connect with me, in the right bottom is my QR code to my LinkedIn profile. So please feel free to connect with me on my LinkedIn profile. Yeah, if you do a small Google or a small search on the web, you see a lot of things about climate neutral, smart cities. Yeah, it's really time to focus at the moment. But what is sustainable? What is smart? How can you measure it? Because you need to have a certain reliable system, an independent system, to identify the track record, so the change towards a sustainable city. And I think space solutions can help maintaining, controlling, monitoring the progress of the transformation. So that's why we developed two solutions in that domain. And I would like the first one is focused on Earth observation, so it's remote sensing solution. We have developed our platform CGI Environment Monitor 360, which is a near real-time monitoring system with fully automated capabilities of processing data. It's a cloud-based environment which applies models on all kinds of sensor data into usable and actionable services. And we have developed 8 services, which are listed on the left. And I would like to highlight our Healthy Urban Habitat Index, which is based on the combination of greenness, so the amount of greenness in cities, the temperature of cities, but also the air quality. And it combines it combines all the data into the Healthy Urban Habitat Index. And the score is a score from 1 to 5, and it can give a global overview, but also on a local level. And this is an example from Amsterdam, where we focused on neighborhood level. So you can see which parts of the city are healthy and which parts are not healthy. And based on this information, you can do your city planning. You can monitor the progress and your changes in the climate adaptation. And this service is available, for users. So if you have any questions about this, please feel free to contact me to have discussion. I think this is very useful in the All the Horizon calls, which are currently open. So that's the first one. The other one I would like to highlight is our heatstress, our secure tracking service, which is the other way of it, because you have your local in situ sensors, and those sensors, how can you rely the specific sensor is in a specific location? This service is based on the Galileo PRS signal, and this signal helps us to. This is a signal which is reliable, unspoofable, so you can validate and be sure that that sensor is exactly on that location, and you can also use it for monitoring all kinds of emergency services. So it's a validation of your position, which makes your sensor information reliable. Combine it together with the remote sensing, so from the Earth observation satellites, and it brings an overall solution with reliable, globally spent information, which can be compared to all kinds of which can be compared, where you can compare different countries with or different locations with each other. And why should you have those reliable positioning? Of course, it can be used as evidence. So if is really that specific city, is it making progress which is promised in the agreements? is it making the exact steps heading towards something? And of course, yeah, we can use that signal and we can make a validation towards all kinds of solutions. So I think there's two solutions we can provide from CGI via CGI, which can help and contribute in this specific service. And yes, if you have more and additional questions, please feel free to contact me. This is my contact details, and I'm open to have more questions or to answer some questions which I can hopefully answer.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ron. That was very interesting. Good to see the stuff that CGI is involved. Let me ask, if I may, to what extent is CGI involved in Horizon Europe calls at the moment, and how do you see CGI's involvement in Horizon Europe calls in the future?
At the moment, we are limited involved. By my colleagues, we are involved. From the Netherlands, we are at the moment not involved in the Horizon calls, but we are more open to collaborate and to work together with parties to team up and to join.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does, because one of the things that that some people here in the call might be listening to with sort of a hidden agenda is the opportunity to work with a large organization like CGI in Horizon Europe calls. So no, this is really good to know, and I'm assuming they can contact you if they want more information about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
One other thing, well, first of all, let me ask everyone to, if you want, ask questions in the chat, please. If there are no questions, I do have another one. You talked about this healthy urban metric. Is that specifically designed by CGI? Is that a CGI specific solution, or has this been developed with many other partners who are using this?
No, it's a CGI specific development, and it's based on the on a few parameters, but it's based on CGI models. Yes, correct. So, but that's something we can contribute to Horizon calls. Okay,
because I know there's others in the chat, and thank you, Shagnik, for jumping in. Because there's several metrics developed by several organizations. I was wondering how they are in line with each other. And Shagnik from Ecoten is asking, is the healthy urban index a global scale? Does it apply to every city?
Yeah, we have yes, it can be applied globally, and it is already applied globally as well on specific cities. So, but it depends on of course on the depending on the availability of the size of the urbans or the neighborhoods. That's the more or less detail, because we can provide on very large and detailed scale, but it's globally available.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and I am looking forward, Shagnik, to your presentation, where hopefully you might give some information on how Ecoten might be dealing with this. But we'll have that in a minute. Yes, I do see another question. Can the parameters be adjusted? So Flavia is asking, can the parameters be adjusted depending on the context or city?
Yeah, absolutely. So we developed this and we can adjust, of course, based on the input of the end user. We can adjust the parameters, and we can even expand the models if required. We can add also other data source or inputs to further specify our model.
Can I ask Ron, since it is a monitoring tour, what is the time? I mean, do you have time slices? I mean, when it started? I mean, do you also have historical data?
We don't hold an archive at the moment with historical data. But if the data is available, we can produce it almost instantly. There's of course some processing time involved, but that's relatively limited.
Okay. I guess we do have a minute or two. Pierre in the chat is asking what is meant by your product environmental services?
So let's go back to that slide. Sorry, so it's to rephrase the question, is what's our environmental services?
What is meant by your product environmental services? Or he probably meant this environmental monitor.
Okay, that's our more or less that's on the right corner. That's our platform, which consists of a cloud environment based on building blocks, for example. And as you're using in optical data, we have with satellite data, of course, we have problems with clouds. There is for example, module to remove the clouds and to complete that or with older, a little bit more historical data. That's an example, or to uniform the data. All those kind of building blocks that can be linked into a process flow, and that provides our services, which are currently described on the left. So the 8 services.